So my name's Adele Beardsley. I'm 46. I've got 3 children. I'm a nurse. Running has been in my life for quite a while. Probably I'd say back in my 20s. I started running for fitness really once I qualified as a nurse. But it was more short and faster distances. 5K, 10Ks. And I used to run for a club as well, but that fizzled out once the children came along, and they kept me quite busy. And then I sort of got into half marathon distances, which I really enjoyed. And I say over the last few years, just the last few years, I've tended to go for further distances and slower, which tends to suit the older body, I think. So slow and long seems to be the best way for me forward. So I've not really been doing, I've never done a marathon. I've sort of gone from halves and jumped up to ultra for some reason. But yeah, I love running. It's addictive, but physically and mentally, it has so many benefits, especially in a stressful job that I do. So yeah, it's a lifesaver really. It's an escape. Well, I've done one backyard before. I was talked into it by a friend of mine, a girlfriend of mine, who did a last man standing event actually a couple of years ago and really enjoyed it. Before that, it wasn't even on my radar. I just run for pleasure, really. And we had a girls' night and she was chatting about it. And then your event came up last year, and it was mentioned to me, and we sort of says, okay, we'll give it a go. As simple as that. So I trained for it independently. I didn't really know what I was doing. I trained for it the best way I thought, which on reflection probably wasn't the correct way to do it. I think I did too much. Picked up an injury 3 weeks out last year, recovered to a point where I could at least participate, but exceeded my expectations last year. But that was my first sort of introduction to backyard ultra and ultra running last year. So yeah. So last year I timed out on 20, which was better than I ever expected. I sort of aimed for 15, but timed out on 20. Just couldn't make it back in time. My legs wouldn't work anymore. But mentally, I still felt I got something to give, but the body gave up. So you can't have one without the other. But like I say, I did pick up a knee injury before the event. So, and I think that was just, I overdid the training. So this year, my great physio and he's a running coach, Paul Whittingham, has given me a training plan to follow, which has been modified to fit around work. So I'm training via a plan which is very different to last year. It's a bit more contained, a bit more structured. So we're going to see how that works out for me this time round. Hopefully better. I didn't want to set a goal for that reason. I've sort of set myself little goals. First one being to get through training and get to the start line, hopefully without any major niggles or injuries. Second goal is to make the night, because that is a challenge in itself. I don't like running in the dark. I avoid it at all costs. I'm very much a morning runner in the daylight. And last year I thought that would be a really big thing for me. I didn't train in the dark even last year. I just thought, well, I'll do it when I have to. And in the woods, I was thinking, oh dear, what animals are we going to come across? Is it safe? But when it came to it, I didn't even think about it at the time. I think I was so focused on concentrating not to fall over and trip over branches and roots in the dark that you couldn't think about anything else other than what your feet were doing. So so to make the night was a great achievement last year for me, and that is another goal for me. And then as a third goal, I suppose, is to beat what I did last year, to go further than I did last year. And after that, who knows? But I will run till I drop or till I get timed out. And I don't intend on quitting in camp. Even if I think I can't get round, I will at least try until there's no choice but to give up. So, but that's just me. Yeah, I mean, everyone's asking me what you're going for, what you're going for, but I don't want that pressure. I don't like that pressure on me. And I think, like you say, if you set a target, mentally it's easier to give up once if by some miracle you achieve that target. Mentally, I think, oh, it's too much of an excuse to stop. Yeah. So I think you just go and do the best you can, really. Yeah, definitely. Two that stand out to me: Chris Shooter, I know personally, and Sam Sanderson or Samantha Sanders. I actually worked with her. They both did amazing last year. I happened to see Sam at work on Monday, and we were chatting about it. So just talking nutritional tips and bits and pieces like that. So, but I know she did amazing last year, and Chris was brilliant. So I know they're hoping to do well, and I'm looking forward to running with them as well. Andy Day, I know as well. He lives just up the road from me, and he is incredible. He's an incredible runner, ultra runner. Does a lot abroad, likes the sunshine and the warmth. So that would be interesting. I don't know if you've spoken to him, but that will be interesting to see. Victoria Owens as well, the happy runner. She did it last year, didn't she? And I follow what she does as well. And she's an inspiration. She's amazing. So I'm really chuffed to see that she's lined up for it as well. I think just go for it. I think what's the worst that can happen? I think it's worse not to try something than to try it. And I just don't, and do it, and don't go in with a set target as well. Just go to enjoy. And it's amazing the other runners, how encouraging they are. And it's like a little community in itself. And just that encouragement. Everybody's in the same situation. Everyone's as crazy as each other for doing it in the first place. So just do it. Yeah. I think regret is worse than, not achieving something in the first place. So yeah, just go for it. I really enjoyed it. I didn't know what to expect last year. And yeah, I was broken after, but I really enjoyed it, so much so I entered as soon as it reopened.
Well, we're excited to have you back for sure.
Yeah. I think just proving to myself that I can do a longer distance. I mean, last year I think it was about 80 odd miles that I achieved, and I mean, it blew my mind, never mind everybody else's. And my husband thinks I'm absolutely bonkers for what I do and for entering it again. But I mean, I'm fully supportive and frees me up the valuable time to train, bless him. But yeah, I just really enjoyed it. But it's the people that make it, for sure. It's the people and the environment. The woods is just beautiful. And I did the 6-hour event recently with you guys in January, just the second day, which I'd never done before at all, but did better than I expected. So it's just, it builds your confidence. It builds your confidence. Yeah. Oh. A horse-sized duck, because I don't like horse. I'm scared of horses.
Even tiny ones.
Maybe not so tiny ones. I think the size of a horse is scary. I used, and it's probably not that interesting, but I used to horse ride as a kid, and I fell off one once and never got back on. So I'm quite scared of horses. So I much more favour ducks. So yeah,
there we go. Perfect.
a duck any day.